Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice even now are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cubed. One-on-one. It's just me and you, y'all. It's just me and you. Thank you so much for coming to today's edition, and I want to welcome everybody that's in my chat. Let me get the multi-stream going so we can get those other streams in and get their comments going as well. But I just want to say, this is the day that the Lord has made, Teresa Jones, and we are glad and we're rejoicing in it. Yes, we are. Today is Tuesday, April the 27th. Can you believe April's almost gone, y'all? April the 27th in the year 2021. And so thank you once more and again for coming in and being a part of this podcast on this morning. I'm just so happy to see you, and even you. Yes, you. I'm glad you're here on this morning. I want to appreciate you because you all already got the biddies going. Oh my goodness. King Coogee, thank you for the biddies. And also Nathan Lamont, the show wasn't even on yet, and I was getting notifications that donations of love were coming in. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for all of that on this morning. Now, you know how we do. We always start off with the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair. I say grandma. The winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair. And so on today, listen, I don't know where Monica L. Smith is because she reigned supremely on last week, y'all. She was like, nobody's hips getting up in this chair but mine. Thank you for the biddies, BTD Mom. Thank you for the biddies. I appreciate you. Shelby Nicole Cosplay. Thank you. You all were already cutting up. So I want to say thank you for liking the stream. I appreciate you. You guys are just the best. You are the absolute best. Yes, I'm on my way to 200, so I appreciate you so much. I thank you. The numbers are rising. Our algorithm is going up for those that will like the stream. Then you see that notification going on from people that are liking the stream, individuals that share the stream, those that actually will go ahead and share and put out their subscription. I couldn't think of the word. It wasn't coming to me. Subscribe to the stream. All of those notifications. That's what you see, that big yellow bow that pops up. Oh, we hit 200. We hit 200. Thank you. Oh yeah, we've been flowing. We've been rocking and rolling. Y'all been doing it. Yes, we came out from some meager numbers back in a few months back. And I mean, just when we started asking you all to share, like, put that algorithm out there. And I mean to tell you, the broadcast is going farther and farther. Thank you, BTD Mom. It was because of you guys. You guys are making it happen, and I appreciate you. Now, I want to say congratulations to the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair, who, as I was saying, Monica reigned supremely on last week. But today, good morning, Mel. But today, Grandpa Holmes's chair goes to Royal Confessions. Royal Confessions. You are the winner, girl, of Grandpa Holmes's chair. Yes, you are. You have won the distinction that you were the first one in the room to make it happen. And I want to say thank you to you, girl. Now, I know a lot of times you're out there lurking and you hear and you listen, you do like God. You just sit out there and lurk and you see all and you know all and you just don't say anything. But today you came on in here and got Grandpa Holmes's chair. And I want to say congratulations to you. So you know how we do. I like to start this off, and we tell you to get your coffee cups ready, But before we go there, I want to go to my corporate sponsor. I appreciate the Rebel Ink, because the Rebel Ink is all that and the bag of chips. Go out there and get you some. Yes, the rebelink.com. You can be the message and you can wear the message. She's got something for you good out there. Now, as we get this party crack-a-lackin', you know how we do. We say, get your coffee cups out, get your coffee cups out, get your coffee cups out. Why? Because you know how we serve this coffee over here on Yes You O Cubed. No cream, no sugar. We tell it like it T-I-Z-Tis. Thank you for liking the stream, John Petty White. And so we say good morning. I want to say good morning, Mel Holiday. Good morning, Teresa Jones. Good morning, Sheila Miles. Good morning, BTD Mom. I love saying BTD Mom. Something about Nathan Lamont. That's it. Strong and black. Strong and black. That's how we do it over here. Yes, Nathan Lamont. Good morning to you. Good morning, Royal Confessions. Good morning to the Rebel Inc. Come on. Shelby Nicole Cosplay is in the house. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Everybody out there in those Twitch streets, go over there, and I want you all to subscribe to my sister because that's my girl. That's my friend. I appreciate her. Shelby Nicole Cosplay is in the house, and she's got everything you need for your listen. She'll get you together with your everything that you need as far as emotes, any kind of digital stuff that you need. I mean, she's got it all out there. Go and look her up because I want you to see everything that she offers and provides. I was a little bit agitated. Good morning, Stacy Matthews. Good to see you this morning. I was a little agitated, and listen, I want to tell y'all, when you find something good, don't abuse it. My sister does what she does at very, very good prices. You know, this is why people have to hike their prices up. She does everything she does at very, very good prices to give you excellent quality work. And lo and behold, I saw the post on yesterday or a few days ago, and folks done took that good quality pricing and they're going out reselling it at an upcharge. Now, come on, folks. Come on, folks. And as she says, it's right there plainly in the contract because she does it reasonably to give it to more people without us saying, oh my God, I would have used Shelby Nicole Cosplay, but it cost so much I couldn't do it. So she's already starting off at a reasonable price, and then you got folks that turn around, get what she made, and go out and jack up the price. Thank you for following Shelby Nicole Cosplay Royal Confessions. Thank you. You will be blessed. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. So, you know, I put my little face on there, and I had to get my little 2 cents in because I really wasn't happy about that. Because at the end of the day, she and Mike City, these are some good people, and I love them to the death. Now, I didn't forget my brother because I wanted to save him for the moment because, you know, you hear his music when the podcast comes on. You hear his music throughout the entirety of the podcast, and I wanted to save him. I did not forget to say good morning, King Coogee. That's my sire. I saved him because let me tell you what this brother did. This brother, you see him in the Yes You t-shirt. Yes, give him a shout out and go over there, subscribe to his channel as well. If you're in those Twitch streets, go and follow King Coogee. Please do it. That's him right there, my sisters and my brothers. And would you observe the shirt that he has on? Because I'm telling you, everywhere that he can, is a supporter of my stream. And I just wanted to listen, I got to highlight him because not only has he provided the music, not only does he come in day after day, week after week and hang out with me, but this brother went out and you see him representing in his Yes You t-shirt. Do you see that Yes You t-shirt? King Coogee, that's my sire. Give him some. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's the king. That's the Coogee. That's my sire. And I love this man. I'm telling you, I appreciate him. I appreciate him for showing his unyielding and unending support. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. And I'm going to tell you, Coogee, I just happened to be doing something yesterday because I've been busy over the weekend. And I hadn't looked out there in my Discord, and lo and behold, I went out there and looked and saw you. I said, man, yes, he's looking good. He is looking good. He is looking good. And I want to say thank you one more time. Well, with that, as we get this party crack-a-lacking, I just want to go ahead and get that track rolling. This is 73, number number 73 from the King Coogee archives, and he made it and sent it just for Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. So I'm gonna get that crack-a-lacking in the background, and you all enjoy the music and the vibes of King Coogee as we continue on with this podcast. I love everybody that's here. I always say, you know, I see those that are talking with me in my chat, but there are a lot more out there that are not in my chat. I want to welcome you and say good morning. Get your coffee cups out. You may not be one that gets in the chat and starts talking with us, but I still appreciate your presence. Your presence means everything. So I really want to thank you as well. And whether you're in Facebook, whether you're in YouTube, Patreon, wherever else you're coming to this podcast from, I want to say thank you to you this morning. All right, let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Now, one of the first things that comes to mind for me this week is the weather. And I'm going to take the weather and I'm going to use that as really a sign and a signal for my whole entire life. Because at the end of the day, this time last week, yes, only 7 days ago, this time last week, it was snowing, y'all. The snow was just the white, beautiful stuff was falling out the sky just as quietly as it could fall. And I remember Bishop Ronald B. Andrews. I don't know if he's out there yet. He comes in every day, and a lot of times he sits and he listens. He doesn't say anything. But his wife put out, Sister Georgianne, that's my sister. You talk about some loving, crazy folk. I love them. I love them. It's the crazy ones that keep you sane, in case you didn't know it. But Sister Georgianne posted up a picture on last week, and everything in her neighborhood was covered, completely covered and sheeted over with snow. Well, 7 days later, that's why I said I'm going to take the weather and how the Lord moves, and I'm going to take this for my life. 7 days later, we're looking at 80 degrees, y'all. 80 degrees. And I'm telling you, it's already getting pretty near up there, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, today I had to come in, run into my studio, turning on fans and all kinds of stuff, because listen, the motherboard was hot, and it wasn't no hot flash, y'all. It was just, it's hot. And so, you know, that's how life can change just that quickly before, I mean, you bat an eye. 1 minute you got snow everywhere, and the next minute, I'm telling you, it's as hot as Hades. Oh, my land. But I tell you what, it's Kansas. Give it 5 more minutes, Stacy. Good morning to you, Stacy 546. Just give it 5. Listen, I'm going to enjoy today to the fullest, because they said in the next 24 hours, we're going to be in the middle of horrible storms. So listen, before the storms come, I'm going to go out there and get me some. I'm going to get some of that good vitamin D, that good rich sunshine, let it get on my skin real good. And I'm going to get out in that sun today. And I got out yesterday, as a matter of fact, had a beautiful ride. You know, I'm going through the transition and loss of my mother. You all, many of you know that. I think all of you know that. And so it was one of those days. And you know, sometimes you got to do something for your mental health, for your emotional health. I just got in my car and said, let me go for a ride. My nephew and my friend went with me. And I tell you, we went, had a beautiful day, got out, walked around in the country in some old stomping ground. And I'm telling you, sometimes you just need to you deserve a break today. So get up and get away. You don't have to go to McDonald's. I don't go to McDonald's anymore. I remember when I was a child, I couldn't wait to get to McDonald's. Mama, daddy, please. I see the golden arches, and we just drive right on by. But anyway, at this point in stage in my life, I don't go to McDonald's anymore. That's not my get up and get away. My get up and get away now is find some place with some beautiful nature. Find some place that can relax and restore your mind, and definitely find some good folks. Find some good folks that can go with you on your journey and just embrace every moment of sunshine that they bring into your life and suck it up. Well, enjoy today, because again, here in Kansas and Missouri, I say Missouri, some of y'all say Missouri. But listen, wherever you are and however you pronounce it, get out there and get you some sun today, because it's a beautiful day right on. Now, as we get into what happened while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, you know, there's a little bit of everything going on, but I wanted to also kind of come here as a means of information. There's a lot of tech war that's going on right now, whether you realize it or not. And so in that tech realm, right now you got, what is the name of that? You got Google that is battling with Roku. I couldn't think of their name. I kept seeing the U on the end. Roku and Google are battling right now because, you know, everybody's trying to be top dog in the internet battle, because at the end of the day, these folks understand it's not in brick and mortar. It's not out there in the building. It's who is dominating and who is controlling on the internet. So right now you got Google and Roku who are fighting, and Roku is basically saying, listen, those of you that are YouTube TV lovers and you've been watching stuff on YouTube, you may in fact be getting ready to go dark. So just in case you didn't know, they're saying you might be getting ready to go dark, because listen, we're not going to be bullied and we're not going to be in the middle of a monopoly that Google is trying to perpetrate against us. And so listen, if we can't come to some kind of agreement, which their agreement is going to expire here in a few days, then YouTube, y'all going dark as far as Roku. So, you know, then you got Google come back and saying, no, this is not what the situation is. Roku, quit lying, quit, listen, quit lying. And so listen, this is what Google is saying to them.
Why you always lying?
Google said, quit lying. You know that's not the deal. And so they're coming out and they're pleading their case and they're saying what they have to say, because at the end of the day, they understand they need to be operating every place that they can possibly operate. So right now you got that battle going on between Roku and Google. Then you got Mr. Zuckerberg, and this is why I said I want to kind of start with this, just in case you didn't know. Basically, he's been in a battle. Apple has been in a battle, and they've been going back and forth between him and Tim Cook, and they're having their battle back and forth. They've been doing this since 2019. Well, Mr. Cook is basically calling Mr. Zuckerberg on the carpet, and he's saying, look, at the end of the day, you need to stop collecting information from people when they do not want their personal information harvested. Because I want you to understand, Mr. Zuckerberg and Facebook, they making a killing off of y'all. They're making a killing harvesting your information. And then as they go through all that, we not going to give it to anybody. We not going to do this. We not going to do that. Then they might say, oh, breach. Oh, breach. A lot of it, which is not a breach, it was already premeditated. And so at the end of the day, Mr. Cook came back and he has called Mr. Zuckerberg on the carpet and basically said, listen, we're not having it. So I feel like this. Yeah. So on this fine day, Mr. Zuckerberg is going to have to come out. They're still having the last of the showdown, but you're going to see a new release of iOS 14.5. iOS 14.5, and they said it's going to tremendously reshape the business model that they've been using and require that some integrity be done with Facebook. So basically what they're going to do is basically come on back with this iOS 14.5. Y'all look for it to come out, because at the end of the day, you know, Brother Cook wasn't playing with him. He said, look, quit playing. Quit lying and quit playing. Don't do it, Zuckerberg. Don't do it.
You always lying?
Quit it. So at the end of the day, we're looking and we're seeing where they're going to have to allow for users. This newest version of iOS is now going to let users tell companies like Facebook, sorry, we will not be tracked anymore by your internet platform. Now, listen, I'm going to say it one more time. This new one's coming out saying, sorry, we will not be tracked around the internet by your platform. And the people that want liberty from and justice for all. If you don't realize it, the name of the game right now is really a lot driven by information harvesting. I was doing something with an organization that I was beginning to organize in its infancy. And, all of a sudden I start getting all these, people that wanted, listen, is that what you're getting ready to do? All we want is the database. All we want is the database. These people are making money by getting your information, tracking and following you around. Stacey, you haven't had Facebook for over a year and you don't miss it at all. I hear you, girl. I hear you, girlfriend. So at the end of the day, and it's not just Facebook, it's a lot of them, but Zuckerberg carries a lot of weight and he does a lot of the strategizing and a lot of what goes on in the internet market. And he seems to be the leader that everybody else follows. I think there needs to be, if you're going to be a leader, I think there's an accountability that also goes along with leadership, and integrity needs to be at the top of that list. Stop telling the people one thing and doing something else. Now, I watched the movie Zuckerberg back in the day, and of course, he had the roommates and everybody else that came out saying that he had really, really ripped them off because it was a joint venture and joint ideas of several individuals, and somehow or another he came out holding the bag all by himself. And there was a little bit of a skirmish around that, and folks were a little upset, which had I was giving him some side eye. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at Mark Zuckerberg, giving him a little side eye, like, so according to Facebook, you are deceased. Oh, Mel. Who killed you, girl? What happened to you? You got to give me a narrative of what happened. You said you might as well just roll with it. Just roll with that beautiful beating footage. If they done killed you off, you might as well just go ahead and make a whole story to go along with it. That's some insanity right there. That is some real insanity, Mel. Listen, Facebook told Mel Holiday, we're going to go for a ride and we're coming back alone. Yes, Facebook took Mel Holiday for a ride and it came back alone. Oh my God. So Mel, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. I had no idea that you had gone on to your heavenly reward. And so today on Facebook, King Coogee, today on Facebook, here she lies. Another one gone on home. Mel Holiday, we loved you, but God loved you best. Yes, they took her for a ride and they came back alone. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Nathan is sending his condolences. He said, sorry for your loss. And so when you got on Facebook, I put my status. Oh, you put your status as deceased. So you took your own self for a ride and came back alone. I see what you did. But nonetheless, I really feel like when you're in a leadership position, you really need to pay attention. Not the obituary. King Coogee, listen, we got it all. This is Yes You O Cube, one-on-one, just me and you. And today we memorialize my sister, Mel Holiday. And she was a beautiful sister, and she still is, by the way. So just so you know, she ain't went nowhere. If you just tuned in, don't clutch your pearls. Don't get your tissue out. Don't do the weeping Wanda. She's still here. Yes, she is. She's still here. Thank you for following. Thank you so much for the follow mode. Appreciate you. We just having a little fun. We just having a little joke. Cause y'all know we like, oh, I see the angels flying, SK. Y'all crazy up here. That's one way to get them to leave you alone. I'm telling you, when you get sick and tired of Facebook, you just mark your own self deceased. You hear what I'm saying? You just mark. It's like Otis on Mayberry RFD and the Andy Griffin show. Otis with the town drunk, he would just go get the keys and put his own self in the jail. God loved her. King Coogee, you silly. God loved her best, but me, Facebook, she did me dirty. You stopped me in my tracks because I was expecting something else. You did a turn on me there when you did that, Coogee. I wasn't ready. You threw mama from the train. Back to my, that now that we done eulogized my sister and all that good stuff. You have got to, you appreciate the condolences. Thank you. And she's been resurrected. She is the resurrection and the life. Though she were dead, yet shall she live. So at the end of the day, that's what it looks like over here. This is Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. And if you just tuned in and you're trying to figure out what in the whole heaven and earth is going on right now, she got up. Nathan, you off. God raised her up. Y'all silly. Y'all are silly over here. This is why we say Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. Because you see these folks talking to me in the chat just like we having a good old one-on-one. This is what we do every Tuesday through Friday. If it's your first time through, and like Mo just followed us and joined the gang, we're so glad to have you in the family. Just join up with us and come on and have a conversation. Because listen, I said it earlier. It takes crazy folk to keep you sane. So they just keeping me sane this morning. They just keeping me sane, and I appreciate they working real hard. I appreciate all of that. So as we come into that place again, know that this new iOS platform is coming out. Look for it. If you want to stop them from tracking your internet activity, look for this new update that's coming out and jump on it like ugly on an ape. So that you can get your privacy back. Because at the end of the day, I do feel like without going into all the legislation and all of the rest of the stuff, and eventually it's going to come. It's going to be sad the day that they start really over-regulating the internet, but we know we're going to eventually see that come to pass. In the meantime, regulate the owners like Brother Zuckerberg, who has Facebook and has basically eaten up all the other social media platforms too. If you weren't aware of that, he's actually eaten up so many of those other platforms. It's like when you turn around, Zuckerberg bought that. You turn around, he bought this. So, and then continues in the same tracking behaviors. So we're looking forward to that coming up here quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now, many of you saw the Oscars that were given on Sunday, I believe it was, and Brother Tyler Perry gave a phenomenal speech. I love it that they saw his humanitarian efforts. I love it, and awarded him accordingly. There's a lot of hot scuttlebutt that's still going on because some folks are mad about the comment about him saying he loved the police. And at the end of the day, it's one of those things where we're talking about putting things in context. So at the end of the day, what I heard Tyler saying, and you all can chime in here what you feel like he said, because there are a lot of folks that are really angry that he even put the police in that lineup that he said. What I heard Tyler saying was basically, I love everybody and I support everybody. Now, do we need to get it right? Do we need to get it straight? Do we need to get it corrected? Absolutely. But I'm not going to stand up and hate anybody just because. And that was the takeaway that I had. For a lot of other viewers that heard the speech, they were offended that he put the police in there. And I'm looking and I'm saying, but why would you be offended? Why would you be angry? Even though, yes, we know there's some very egregious acts that the police have done and perpetrated against black and brown bodies. The idea of coming out and saying, but that gives me just cause to hate just on the premise and fact that it's the police, that's just as wrong. That is the thing that amazes me about the theology, and I'm gonna take it back to the theology, because we've really taught this kind of a dual. Come on, get your coffee cups out, SK. I see you. We're gonna take it strong and black, no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we're telling it like it tis. Any area of hatred that you have against a group of people just because, it's wrong. This duality This idea, they're an enemy. They're an enemy of the cross. They're an enemy of me. Bernice King, and I should have pulled that up so I could see it. Bernice King had a post that she did in Instagram that I reposted on my Facebook page because she said it. You know, number one, the national anthem is not the national hymn of the church. The flag is not the symbol of Jesus Christ. I mean, all of these things that we've gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We've just gone crazy in this racist and privileged society in which we live. Excuse me, all of it under the guise of religion. Religion has been at the it's been at the core of this ever since we floated across the water, ever since we came across the pond. And then even as she said, no, slavery was not a necessary evil to build the country and to evangelize the Africans. As she said, the Africans had long since known Jesus Christ. So stop with all this foolishness. Stop calling all this stuff in the name of God, in the name of God and country. Stop it. Stop it. And so I look and I identify how even then if we're not careful, we'll get sucked up into that same kind of twisted thinking. Then I feel justified down in my righteous, sanctified soul that I got a right to hate you because you're against God. I got a right to mistreat you and dog you out because you're against God. I got a right to come over and kill you because you're against God. I got a right to go to the abortion clinic and blow up the whole abortion clinic and everybody in it because you're against God. You understand what I'm saying? That has its roots in that same supremacist hatred. I got a right to go over into the LGBTQ IAP community and start shooting them up and killing them and running them down and laughing at them when I see them getting beat up. It's almost that same Good Samaritan story that we see getting told. And what does the religious man, the holy man, he not only does he pass the man by, he goes all the way on the other side of the street to make sure he has absolutely no contact. I'ma come out from among them and be ye separated from the unclean thing. Not only am I gonna pass you by, I'ma go on the whole other side of the street and pass you by so I can stay holy, holy, holy. And I'm looking at you saying, ain't no holiness in that. So at the end of the day, I feel that was the space that Tyler was coming from, in my opinion. So for so many that are, the communities are livid with him, including the police. And I'm just like, but we're not going to turn around and then become those that abuse and hate the police just because they're police. Now you've gotten into the same mindset and the same supremacy, and whether it's moral supremacy, whether it's religious supremacy, it's still supremacy. And any levels of supremacy on all of these platforms and on all of these levels is wrong, beloved. I want you to hear me when I say that. Don't get it twisted. When you start getting self-righteous and get high and anointed where you feel righteous in your hatred, you are really on the wrong track, because God is love, and he that doesn't love doesn't know God. God is love. That's all I got to say about that. I thought he gave a beautiful speech. I was very, very happy that they honored him because I feel like, come on with those coffee cups, BTD mom. I feel like I was very glad that he honored them. Come on and let the church say amen. I feel like Tyler, to me, people loving, people hating. We do nothing for people that commit adult. Listen, Mel, now don't even get me on that, because listen, those same ones that want to preach for God and country is doing all kinds of other things out there, and they sure don't want anybody to say anything about that. So come on now, come on, let's get ourselves together. Arthur, Javonda, so glad to have you here with us. Good morning, and thank you for the amen. I want us to understand that is not the love of God. I want us to really recognize, if we're talking about coming back and bringing this thing back together, we cannot turn around and become the very thing that we've been trying to tear down and destroy, because it's wrong. Make sure you don't turn into that same monster in some other religious kind of way that is like just as wicked, just as ugly. Good morning, and great morning to you, Arthur. So I want you to think about how your heart is being shaped up in these hours and times, because if you're not careful, you start taking on some of that same mentality. So I wanted to address that. I did want to give him his props. I definitely want to give him his props. Yes, he's deserving of it. I like his heart. I like his heart. I like his heart. I wish that we could get more people. And even when he told the story about his interaction with the homeless individual, and he was like, they could get some money, and the individual said, listen, bump the money, I need some shoes. Listen, spread the love, SK. That's what it's all about. Spread the love. Come on here. I see y'all talking to me. Rebel, come on. And the story was so poignant when he said he was going to, and listen, take this to heart, because we've got to engage more than just lip service. And sometimes we want to do what gets us off the hook to make us feel better about ourselves. And so hear me when I say this. When the woman said, I don't want your money, I just want some shoes. And so he had means by which to take and get her some shoes. And as he said, he took her back to his studio where there was so much abundance in there. It was everywhere. It was all around them. They had to get in the middle of the floor to get the woman some shoes. And her response, she was so happy just to have her feet up off the ground. She was so happy. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It doesn't take a whole lot. Just use the little you got. She was so happy just to get her feet up off the ground. Because, I mean, if you stop and think about it, you take a lot of for real homeless people. I'm not talking about folk that are out there potentially, committing fraud and whatever on the corners. And even them, sometimes you got to be sensitive to the spirit. I was walking by, driving one day. I know this person was perpetrating the fraud, but the spirit, Mashando, down in Mashando, said, reach out the window and give her some money, because it's different. There's something about, give it to her. And when I heard it down in Mashando, I just rolled the window down, gave it to her. But stop and think, even many of those homeless individuals, if they were going into a store, the store wouldn't serve them. The store would be looking crazy at them. I mean, it's just all kinds of things that we don't stop and think about. So even the idea, let me go ahead, and she just asked, can you give me some shoes? And as she said, she was afraid that he was going to have a really, really ugly and negative response toward her when she asked. And he said to her, how can I feel ugly and negative towards you? Thank you for liking the stream, Teresa Jones. Thank you, sis. How can I feel ugly and negative towards you when I was homeless myself? I've been there, done that. But God. And this is a place that we've got to come to, beloved. I think we've really got to deal, even in what he said, by inclusion of the police in his comments. We've got to understand, I'm not going to turn around and become what we have been fighting to overcome all this time. Been there, done that, but God. So yes, we include the police, and we could. Good morning, Bishop. I was just talking about you a little earlier, and the picture that Sister Georgianne had put out on the internet a week ago, covered with snow, and here we are 7 days later, and it's 80 degrees today. So that's my brother, Bishop Ronald B. Andrews. I want y'all to say good morning to him. I just want to call him Mr. Bishop Integrity, because you're just not going to find anybody that walks in greater integrity than this man. And I love him to the death and beyond. And so I appreciate you for being with me this morning. But I want you to hear what I'm saying. Don't become the very thing that we've been trying to get free from. Don't turn around and do it. Now, at the same time, Tyrese, y'all talk to me down in this chat. What's wrong with Tyrese? Tyrese is with Jamie Foxx having a party, is celebrating Soul. Come on and give it up for Soul. Tyrese is, everything's cool, everything's good, everything's fine. And then what do we have to wake up to trending? Tyrese done, somebody, I don't know who did it, somebody done released the picture of him shaving his partner's personal parts. Come on now. What are we doing? I don't know what is going on with Brother Tyrese. And it seems like saints of the Most High. Come on now. His songs will take you there. I know they will. Good stuff. I know they will. Good stuff. Y'all love hearing Tyrese sing. The brother can sing the songs. The brother can bring it. I mean, he's all that in the bag of sweet lady. Sing some sweet stay. Come on, Tyrese. All of that. We love it. We love it. We love it. We're not trying to see your partner's intimate parts. So at the end of the day, and we're not trying to watch it. So I'm looking and I'm like, man, listen, Rebel. I looked at that. You know what, John? The crock pot. Yeah. The whole breakfast sampler. Not the crock pot. Oh, Jesus, come here. Jesus, help me right now. Jesus, please help me right now. Oh, I can't breathe, y'all. Oh, my God. Oh, not the crock pot. The breakfast sampler, Nathan. Larnell Jones. Lawrence A. Jones Chapel is in the house. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Oh, I'm about to turn the fan up, y'all. Johnny made me hot. I got to turn the fan up or else I'm going to faint in here. Lord Jesus, not the crock pot. Listen, the breakfast sampler, for anybody doesn't know, that's the pancakes. You follow me from the back. Yes, I need an intermission, y'all. Barbara Hardy, that's my sister. I love you, girl. Let me quit laughing so I can talk the rest of this show out. Cause y'all, Johnny, you just took me out. And yes, I do need an intermission. The crock pot. At the end of the day. Yes, we've been talking about the breakfast sampler, the 2 pancakes in the back, then you got the strip of bacon, then you got the 2 eggs and a little sausage in the front. That's the breakfast sampler. Listen, except for this one, I think was the female, so take off the sausage and the 2 eggs in the front. But they still got the breakfast sampler, the crock pot. I said, what in the whole heaven and earth is Tyrese doing? Now, you know, y'all done messed me up in here. And I'm going to go back and get these comments because I got so tickled. They scrolled right on past me. It just scrolled right on past. Listen, the crock pot. Nathan Lamont said, don't overdulge with the breakfast sampler. SK just gave us all kinds of shade. Let me put my shades down. Thank you, SK. I got to put shade on that. I got to put shade on that. Please, avert your eyes, avert your eyes, avert your eyes. Tyrese, what are you doing? Avert your eyes. And so Shelby Nicole Cosplay said, he all right. He all right. He ain't all that. You ain't running after his songs like that. I hear you, Shelby. He all right. I got you. The Rebel say he got the whole big breakfast. Not the big breakfast. Y'all silly. You guys are silly. This is what happened while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, y'all. This is And well, I'm gonna leave the slobbered part. I'm gonna leave the slobbered part alone. Listen, Teresa Jones said the dude can't sing. He just can't even sing. Teresa said, I don't even want to hear him fire it up. I don't even want to hear him tune it up. He can't sing. Royal Confessions is green and vomiting. Y'all know y'all killing me. Author Javonda, listen, I know this may be your first day in here. I'm not sure, but you followed us today and you say, my Lord, what have I gotten myself into over here? What have I gotten myself into? This is Yes You, O Cube, one-on-one, just me and you. We having a conversation, Stacy. It's the cracks. Jonna, can you tell? You caught me completely off guard. You came out of lurk mode to knock me complete. That was a knockout punch, Jonna. I wasn't ready. I was not ready, Jonna CPW. So at the end of the day, baby, you knocked me out. You knocked me out. Honey, Royal Confession said, just nasty. You're just nasty, nasty, nasty. Tyrese took y'all out too. Johnny, listen, you ain't heard the last of Crackpot, just like y'all haven't heard the last of the Breakfast Sampler. Yes, Nathan, we need a warning on the comments because I was not ready, Nathan. I was not ready. I read that and baby, when the fullness thereof hit me, when I got the full interpretation of tongues, it took me out. Do you hear me? Jonna took me out. It's the biscuit. The crusty biscuit. We gonna have this on Hairy Decisions. You know we are. You know we are Royal Confessions. You can't breathe. I can't breathe. You can't breathe. You can't breathe. Can't none of us breathe because we were not ready. Woo, let me catch my. Oh, I'm glad you love it here, Arthur Javonda, because we glad to have you here. Ooh, you gonna grab this sampler though. Listen, let it loose. Loose it and let it go. Loose it and let it go. Loose, and then the Rebel Ink over here egging you on, talking about help yourself. Woo! Oh man, Jonna knocked that out the park, Stacy. It was a kapow, SK. That was a straight up kapow. Oh, let me see if I can compose myself and come on back to this show. Man, that was a 5-minute intermission right there, I have to say. And the beautiful bean footage was still rolling while I had an intermission. Well, let me compose myself and say, this is Yes You, O Cube, and I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. But my thoughts ain't spiritual right now. They done took me all out to spirit. Y'all just took me out to spirit with all of that. Don't call the police if you can't breathe. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Woo! Don't listen. They gonna get us today, Mel, because a whole lot of folk couldn't breathe on that right there. Because that, honey, Jonna took me out. That took me out. Not the crock pot. Well, yes, the crock pot was on full display. Let me come on back. And Tyrese, we just want you to sit down. Sit down, man. Just sit down. Just cool your jets for a second. Would you, sir? Just cool your jets. And I just want to say to all of you individuals out here that are listening to me under the sound of my voice, as we say at the church setting, to all of those voices, all of those people listening to me under the sound of my voice, listen. Did sister want her crock pot out there, Jonna? Did she want her whole crock pot and breakfast sampler out there and all of the biscuits? I don't know that she wanted all of that out there. So at the end of the day, you know, I look and it's sad because a lot of times individuals, that happens to them against their will. The same way that the internet is tracking you and it's against your will. You don't have any knowledge or any say-so in the matter. You know, I'm gonna tell people I've never understood the whole sexting thing. Excuse me, I laughed so hard, y'all got me all, I'm telling you what, all of my sinuses done released, honey, the floodgates of heaven. I done laughed so hard, tears was running, my nose, everything, all them sinuses inside my running down my throat and all that. So I gotta clear myself up because y'all, Johnny, you took me out. Now, this is what I got to say to that. You know, I don't personally understand that. While I'm not trying to sit in the seat of judgment, what I am saying is if you are not anticipating that all of your crock pot and breakfast sampler is going to be seen by the whole world tomorrow, stop letting these folk take videos of you. Because listen, y'all might be friends today and enemies tomorrow. I'm just saying. And then what do? We see it time and time again. The minute they get mad at you is the minute that all of your crock pot and breakfast sampler and big breakfast and biscuits is out there floating around on the internet. So, you know, come on, y'all. And this, I'm going to just be real on this one. John Gray and some of these other pastors, this is how they're getting caught. Because once they get finished and they try to move on quietly, then all of a sudden we start seeing all these videos. Your conversation's been videoed. Your body parts have been videoed. I'm telling you. So at the end of the day, I want y'all to learn from Tyrese, unless you want all of your business out there in these here streets. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You know, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, I'm looking at you, and I'm not trying to look at you, but I'm looking at you. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see too much of you. I see all of you. And so at the end of the day, when that John Legend said all of me, I didn't want to see all of me. I did not want to see all of me, Tyrese. I didn't want to see it all. So at the end of the day, pay attention. And so, you know, now I have to say this, even though I think it was just outrageous, I have to wonder, was this, you know, because would we be talking about Tyrese today if we hadn't seen all of her body parts as he was shaving her? Probably not. So, you know, was this a ploy to get 15 more minutes? You know how you got media hoes that just want, they want attention. I said hoes, but y'all know what I'm saying. Media hoes that just want attention, and they'll do anything they can to get that attention. And you're right, Mel. Then they gonna go to Judge Judy, and they want a case. They want a privacy case. I didn't know. I had no idea, and I didn't give him consent to put out my crock pot and my breakfast sampler and my big breakfast and my biscuits. I didn't say he could do that. And the next thing I know, I looked up and all of my business, all of my breakfast sampler, all of my big breakfast biscuits, honey and everything, it was just out there. He didn't use no cream, no sugar. He just put me out there strong and Y'all ain't ready for me this morning. Could it be? Could it be? The devil? Baby, this whole segment ain't been nothing but that old slimy devil. This segment has been brought to you by Diablo. Diablo. Ooh, come on, Raw Confessions, I can't help it. He threatened his whole Fast and Furious. Somebody said, don't go to Judge Judy, you better go to Judge Mathis. Could it be? Could it be? The devil? Shelby Nicole cosplay, it ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Yes, this has been brought to you by Diablo himself. Hot off the press, straight out of the pits of hell. This has been brought to you by the devil and all his cohorts. Oh, at least he didn't call it. Teresa, Stacy. Oh my God, y'all ain't right. Y'all just ain't right. Y'all, this chat today. You have tuned in. This is your spiritual thought leader. What is my name? I got to think about it. Regina L. Stillman. And this is Yes You, O Cube 101. Just me and you. Oh my Jesus, Lord God. This has been y'all just got me cracking up this morning. Jonna, I owe you for that one. Whew. Lord, let me catch my breath and let me try to keep on going, because y'all know y'all took me out with that. Well, Tyrese, we praying for you, brother. We praying for you. Oh, and I'm gonna tell you what, today I really was working to see and to say, let's have some discussion today that doesn't have to be so entrenched in hatred and ugliness. But Lord Jesus, come on, give us a break, Tyrese. I mean, come on, Lord, call his name Jesus, because this man, he done went on to a whole nother place of abode, and he said, I must needs go through Samaria. Now, let me get back to the stories, because that one just about took me out. And y'all took me out. Not the story. I was given the story, but listen, y'all went beyond the story and y'all took it to a whole nother level. And Jonna, I think Jonna, we going to give it up for Jonna today, because Jonna CPW on this fine day, I think she is the winner of the funniest chat in chat. Woo! Woosa. I gotta catch my breath. Oh, Jesus. Now, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, let me come on back, y'all. Let me at least try. While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, y'all know, y'all saw it on yesterday. They basically have come out and said, for those that were able to see the video, and that's why, again, thank you for the laughter, because I'm tired of the pain. They're basically saying when the family was able to see 20 seconds of video is what they were giving y'all. 20 seconds. Now, when they finally were able to see the video of that 20-second footage, they are coming out saying it is and was no doubt an execution. Now, this is the thing that I feel about that. While I was watching them in that, and it just really hurt my heart, y'all. It really hurt my heart. I was looking at a few of the family members that were standing on the front row just behind the people talking, the attorneys and whatnot, and they were just weeping and crying, rightfully so. And this is the thing, I know, Stacy, it's so sad. I look at that and I identify the press, the publicity, all of that's going on. But at the same time, you got family that is just devastated. And it's almost like we've turned this scenario that we keep having over and over and over again. It's like we've turned this scenario into a 3-ring circus. So the camera does a close-up shot, comes in tighter and tighter and tighter on his little daughter, and you can look at her and tell she's traumatized. Excuse me. My sinus is still clearing and rolling and running from Jonna CPW, who took me out. My whole head is empty. It just, everything done drained, and it's still running down my throat. But I'm looking, and man, I'm just having all kinds of feelings. I'm just having all kinds of emotion, author Javonda. I'm feeling some kind of way, because these are real people's lives. This isn't like this is a movie, take 1, take 2, take 3, almost though you could do take 1, take 2, take 3, because it just keeps on going like we're in a movie. It's just every time it's new actors, new characters involved. Well, I wish it was an act. It's not an act, it's reality. And every time we see this, and you have all the conversation, the hoopla, the cameras are there, you see all the flashing, click, 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 all of the news media trying to get that shot, trying to get that. And then I look over and I'm looking at the grown woman, just, you can see the pain. You can see the heartache. You can see the agony. And I don't know how we just missed that. I just don't know how we missed that. I my heart is just wrenched, just aching. I can't watch that kind of stuff. And even in that, let me go here on some self-help and some mental health care for those that need it. Because listen, there is a trauma that can occur from looking and viewing this over and over again. So I understand some of you are like, I can't watch it. I just can't even watch it. I understand. Do some good self-care. Know your limits. Know your limitations. Know where you need to stop and get off and let it pass. Because it's just so much. Yes, SK, self-care. Take care of yourself. Heal yourself. Help yourself be whole. Because it can be a lot. And so, you know, the 20 seconds, and as the attorney was saying, this little snippet and everything is rotten in Denmark. Something smells rotten in Denmark. You have gone to the extreme to only show us, out of all of these body cameras, out of all of this material that you have access to, you're going to give us one angle shot of 20 seconds. And they were saying a lot of it, you really couldn't tell what was going on with the movement and the activity. And this is what I want to address on that, because somehow, some way, a lot of people have hung their hats on the fact that we got body camera. But, you know, even the body camera, we got ways of manipulating that, because if we can't see, yeah, the body camera's on, but we can't see what's going on. It's unidentifiable. It's indistinguishable. So have we really accomplished anything? Because this is the thing, and this is why I told somebody a few weeks back, we cannot legislate to a degree and a level that people will do right. If they're racist, if there's hatred in their heart, if they don't mean to do right, they're going to find a way to do wrong. Just come on. They're going to find I'm a do right woman. I need a do right man. I'm a do right woman. I need a do right country. If they just are insistent that they're not going to do right, I don't care what you do. The idea of, oh, now we got it because they got body cams and they got to keep that beautiful bean footage rolling. Well, if they're going to purposely, and you can say whatever you want to say, there's a way. I'm trying to figure out how come it was so much commotion and movement that the body cam is indistinguishable. Come on now. So now if we're going to stop playing games, I told somebody, yeah, they said once they blur out the faces of the full video and it'll be released. I hear it. But this is the thing. How many days does it take to blur out faces? I have a tool on my computer that if I want to blur something out, I can blur it. When I go on Zoom, y'all don't get to see all of my background in Zoom because I blur it out. And so all of that takes is a push of a button. More time will be spent trying to bend the right instead of unlearning the wrong. And you said a mouthful there, Javonda. Because at the end of the day, when you start getting to a point where we're saying transparency, it does not take, it's been days. They've had days, Nathan. If that's really what they're doing, they've had days to blur out some faces, if that's what they're trying to do. So, and I'm talking about something that you can do with one stroke of the mouse. And why blur it? Considering we are dealing with a murder. SK, liars, and they will continue lying. So that's why I said, you know, you're not going to legislate it to where people do right. You're not going to hook them up with body cams and they're going to do right, because how many times I didn't have my camera on, so now we got an issue about that, but now we can't even identify and distinguish. Listen, there's going to always be a way. We've got to, and this is something that I feel like is needed and necessary in this hour. And for those that come on my preaching time on Sunday afternoons at 2:00, I've been preaching and talking about the reality. This is the age of God. This is the age of connection and relationship, because we've figured out everything else doesn't work. Until we become relational, until we become those that can sit down, and I can sit down and talk to my dear friend Stacy, And she's not the only Caucasian sister that I have on here, but I'm so glad that you're in my chat to represent and talk and share with us in this conversation. Until I can get to know people whose skin hue is different shades of melanin than mine, and really sit down and participate and have a conversation and get to know one another and have relationship, we're going to continue seeing murder, hatred. And again, I'm gonna go back even to the folks that got angry at Tyler Perry for including the police. We're gonna continue to see supremacy, whether it's moral supremacy, whether it's religious supremacy, all of these levels of supremacy that create hatred and want to silence the voices of the other. And this whole idea of they are the other. The only way I believe that we're gonna really combat that and have any effective change is that we're going to have to start increasing relationship. I take this as a point of issue, even with the idea church is still one of the most segregated times that we've ever seen before. Now, I'm gonna say this, and some folk may not really like this, but I've seen black folk go and infiltrate white churches and be a part of white ministries and still be used for entertainment. You sing, you do some form of performance, but you never see those white churches have a lot of strong presence of leadership within them. But I haven't seen droves of white people go to black churches and sit and not be in some level of key leadership. I haven't seen that reverse happen. Maybe you have. I have not seen a lot of that. So at the end of the day, and a lot of times, and I had a season where I was very actively going to churches that were not diverse and sitting in those congregations. But the interesting thing about that, those same congregations did not feel compelled to return the favor. Eventually, I will say, in White Cloud, Kansas, while I was pastoring there, I had that exchange amongst the congregations that started happening, white and black. So it was a concerted effort. It was something that had to be initiated on my part. And there was a response, and there was an active pulling and saying, okay, let's do both sides. Because at the end of the day, until we break this down, and why do I bring up the church? Because I said all of this that we see, the supremacy and everything else, to me is rooted in the foundation of religion. In God we trust, and that whole idea that we're going to raise up. Now, even though we say separation of church and state, there has been this continuous push in this country of a single religion, even at that. That's why I need to unshade, because I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I don't just throw shade, I shed light. There's been this tremendous push, even in days of late, even with when Obama, even though it was a lie, tried to make the allegation that this man was Muslim. He was, one day there's going to hopefully be a Muslim leader of the United States of America. Y'all can say whatever you want to say. One day there's going to be, out of all the, because those are just faith traditions. You should not be excluded from being allowed to operate in our government because of your faith tradition. And nobody said that this whole country is a Christian country. It's a melting pot. And to deny others the opportunity to serve and be a part of the leadership because they're different is just as wrong as saying, I don't want a black person leading in my church. So, and it's a white church. So, I mean, there's so many layers to this onion of pulling and tearing down. But at the end of the day, what we see here, body cams are of no effect, because at the end of the day, body cams, we can't clearly see what's going on. Because come on with that coffee cup, SK. Because at the end of the day, if you don't mean to do right, come on, Stacy, come on with that coffee cup. If you don't mean to do right, you will find a way, as Javonda said. You'll find a way. If you got to work night and day, you'll find a way to circumvent it because you don't intend to do right. And I'm going to say it once more and again. Rita's my girl. I'm a do-right woman. I need a do-right country. You understand what I'm saying? I am a do-right woman. I need a do-right country. So do right, America, and stop with all the shenanigans. But again, at the end of the day, it just hurt my heart to see the family members standing there weeping on front display like it's a circus of some sort. And then again, I just can't say enough. The little baby, the tight end shot, and just getting closer, and you could just see. I mean, something down in me, I could feel the inside of that little girl's body. You know, if you've ever had trauma, if you've ever experienced trauma, I don't care what your face looks like on the outside, and you could look at the face and tell she's traumatized, but I could imagine all the emotions and the feelings that are going on inside. And that's the kind of stuff, beloved, when you start talking about self-care, this baby is going to need, these babies need, we need counseling, we need therapy, and it's not because of some kind of negativity. We got to keep battling and fighting against this mindset of mental wellness and trying to move and operate in mental wellness and to get a country. Because I'm going to tell you what, our whole country is pretty near. It's heartbreaking, SK. It just wrenches your heart. And I mean, while I watched that little girl's face, I internally was feeling all kinds of the knots in the stomach, the skin crawling, all of that energy just surging and just going crazy in there and making you almost feel crazy. In a little kid, it's horrible. And you can't understand it. You can't process it. You know, you're trying to live through it, and then you got folks with cameras in your face, and you click, 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 and all I know is my daddy is dead. And, you know, this is what kind of people are we? Come on, Rebel. We just got to pray for the babies. What kind of people are we that this is almost like fodder? We just feed on it and we just love it, and I can't get enough of it. Who's the next one to see? And so we can make sure you get the camera and get that tight shot and get the close in. And these are people. And trauma, you know, there is a study that is recently released, and maybe I'll talk about that on one of the podcasts. There's a study that's recently released that talks about how trauma literally changes and rewires the brain, literally changes and rewires the brain. And, you know, it really is something that needs to be addressed. It needs to be talked about. And we've had centuries of trauma. We've had centuries of trauma. And we've had centuries of raising and rearing children that saw horrendous things happen to their loved ones. And not just black, white also. And listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to go back to the point that I've said many times on many of the podcasts. America isn't concerned about your color unless your color is green. I don't care if you black, I don't care if you white, I don't care what you are. If you don't have green, we don't care. So I'm not twisted on the point that many people of all shades, colors, and hues have been traumatized. None, I don't think, as egregiously and as continuously as black bodies, black and brown bodies that have gotten no restitution, no apology, no statement. And I'm gonna say this, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, I can understand that President Biden came out with a very scathing statement against the genocide. Can we get a statement about the genocide in the US of A? Can we get that one? Can we get that one, sir? Thank you for coming out to the other country and saying this is genocide, and the United States of America stands against you and stands in solidarity with the other countries that say stop the genocide. But would you please stop the genocide in the United States of America? Would you please? Would you please? Can you while you want to make a declaration to these other countries over here, can you make the declaration in the United States of America when we got Lindsey Graham, and I guess I'm gonna have to shade right here. I got Lindsey Graham talking about there is no racism in America. There's never been racism in America. You got I'm so sick of a few bad apples. That has been run to its death. It's over. Y'all done ran that into the ground. It's a few bad apples, but the country is not racist. This country was founded and built on racism and white supremacy. Mr. Biden, President, sir, can you, before you go over there and send your little statement of genocide, would you please acknowledge for the black Americans in the United States of America that live on your soil, could you please acknowledge for us, this is genocide? And I can unshade right there because I don't just throw shade, I shed light. So I look at this and something down in me is obviously disturbed and perturbed, because again, these are real people's real lives, and it's just not cool. It's just not cool. And I look at daily, one story after another, and it never changes. But this is a time where, and I believe this, please don't feel like spiritual thought leader thinks we're not gonna win this war of racism. I'm with Brother Tyler Perry. We're gonna fight hate. We're gonna fight hate. We're gonna tear it down. And as the song back in the day, Satan, we gonna tear your kingdom down. Because you've been building your kingdom all over this land, and we just gonna tear it down. And so at the end of the day, no quit, no fatigue. I'm not overwhelmed. I am not just throwing shade, but I'm shedding light. I am asking this country's leadership, before and as we talk about every other country's genocide, sweep around your own back door before you try to sweep around mine. Would you please? Sweep around your own back door and acknowledge the genocide that's going on in your own country. And listen, no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black, because I'm telling it like it T-I-Z, tis. And there you have it. So I'm sure we'll hear more, and allegedly we're going to see more as the time goes by. But at the end of the day, the family is calling it a straight up execution. Just stop it. Stop it. Now, we've heard the story. Oh my God. Did you all see the old lady that the police officers, now this is just insane. The police officers had an old lady with dementia. I don't want to. I'm not going to say an age because I don't remember what the age was. If somebody remembers how old this lady is, put it in the chat. Teresa, if you got that information, throw that down there for me. They're laughing at their dastardly, just dastardly deeds. They're laughing at hearing this woman's arm dislocate and pop, shoulder dislocate, and they're laughing. This woman is aged and has Alzheimer's, dementia, and they thought it was funny. And so the video came out. She's 73. Thank you. I knew somebody else that said she's 73. They are just getting a kick out of wait on the pop and thinking this is funny. Now, beloved, this is, could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Something is wrong with you when you think it's amusing to laugh and talk about somebody's pain. Oh, this is the first time, Teresa? Okay. I'll have to see if I can find the clip and send it to you. Yes. The officers accost this woman with dementia. And in their struggle, they do the rough handling, the taking down. And in the process of it, there's a pop of her shoulder blade. And they are playing the camera, the footage, back and back laughing, talking about wait on the pop. No, I don't listen. And especially, Stacy, I don't know that you can watch it because I'm gonna tell you what, it's a hard one to watch. When you don't care about old people and babies, something is wrong with you. You hear what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, somebody else sent me another video, and I think that one, the Rebel Inc., it's sickening. It really, really is. And the Rebel Inc. sent me a different one on yesterday that showed, I believe this woman was like 68 or something like that. They throw her down on the ground and they're manhandling her, and she's, what are you doing? What did I do? What did I do? Why are you, man, these folks are sick. She was 66. Thank you. I couldn't. That's a whole different one. That's a whole different video from the one I'm talking about with the pop. And these are officers of the law that are committing these egregious activities. Now, I'm going to continue to challenge them on the point of stupidity. You obviously want to get caught. But this is the response and the reason for that. I'm saying in these days and times, you obviously want to get caught because it's a different day. If you didn't realize, this isn't 2019. This is 2021. Because there's a whole lot that happened between 2019 and 2021. 2019, you all probably were. This isn't probably anything new. You probably were taking these videos and taking them and playing them back and laughing and having a good time. But somebody inside the blue is finally waking up and saying, we're not going to continue to aid and abet these brethren and sisters in this negative, bad behavior. And somebody is leaking this stuff to the people. And I think that, and for that, that should have been going on a long time ago. Maybe in 2019, y'all could gather together and talk and laugh and hee and kiki. And I'm gonna tell you what, they are Nazis in disguise, Tracy. I'm telling you, it's really unfortunate that this is the attitude and the behavior. Yes, they're laughing at footage that was shot on their camcorders of them abusing elderly people. They're laughing. It's almost too much to process. And so you can imagine if they're laughing at how they've mistreated the elderly, for everybody that thinks that the brutality that's being done against brown and black bodies is some kind of accident. Anytime you get this kind of enjoyment and pleasure, which is reminiscent of the days when we'd have a picnic and hang the black folks from the tree and cut off body parts, and we'd sit there and clap and laugh and eat our lunch while we watched black folks hang and be tortured and killed. This is that same devilish spirit. Could it be? The devil. It's that same spirit, y'all. Ain't nothing changed. It went underground. It had to get cloaked up and dressed up in a different attire, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. So when you can get and derive enjoyment and pleasure, and I'm gonna say it once more and again, these are police officers. So when we can look at police officers that are getting this level of enjoyment and pleasure from abusing senior citizens, something is wrong. So then that takes me, and I'm going to address, really, Royal Confession sent me an article, I believe it was, that New York, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, New York has come out and said, we're coming out with legislation to stop these police officers once they've been fired, once they resigned, because you know a lot of them, before you can fire them, they go ahead and resign. Once they have been separated with some kind of lawsuit pending or some kind of negativity or some kind of investigation going on, New York has come out and said, you can't go down the lane and just get rehired at another police department. We're putting in legislation that says when you're done and you're out, you are out of there. Out of there. Gone. So, because they're realizing, and it's not anything new, I'm saying we're realizing, but the reality is, if we're going to change it, we've got to stop the ability to just go down the street and join another police force and do the same thing over. And as statistics have shown and proven, many of these officers with troubled past, they just go to the next place and do the same, the first work's over. They just do their first work's over because they still have not in any way, shape, or form change from the mindset and mentality that they had. Come on, Stacy. We need to dismantle the departments and replace them with something that works. I'm with you, Stacy. And for those that don't know, Stacy is from a career and history in blue. She was a police officer as well as male. So they're not talking from lack of experience. They've been out there in the streets doing exactly the police work that we're talking about, just from a good place and a good heart. So, and Stacey, you kind of bring up the point, because this is what was trending while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. This is what was trending on Twitter. And I started to pull one of the clips in because this one guy does abolition. It's the term abolition. They want abolishment of the police department and a whole new system brought in to replace law enforcement as we know it today. And so, I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. The young people and the next generation, they are echoing the same thing that Stacey is saying, maybe even more to the extreme. This young black brother, he's on it. He's on it. I think I will bring it in tomorrow so you guys can see it. He does a 1 minute on abolition. And he does that thing in 1 minute and he runs it down. And he has such astuteness. He has such clarity. He has excellent argument that is defendable, and talks about our current system and how it's indefensible, and breaks that thing down. And see, we got to pay attention. For everybody that's got your head in the sand and you're like, okay, police reform, police reform, police reform. And for that, many of you saying, it won't happen in my lifetime. It won't happen in my lifetime. But if these young folks keep pushing and these young folks keep moving in the direction that they're going, they're not talking about reform. They're talking about abolition. I want you all to get out there so you can hear what's happening on both sides. I want you to hear all of the conversations, not just one area of conversation. And they have some argument in abolition that I can't fault it. The means by which to get it done, I say, hold on to your hat, hold on to your weave, hold on to your wig, because just like I said, it was snowing a week ago Tuesday and it's 80 degrees today. That's how fast things can change in 2021. For everybody that feels like this is a slow poke kind of scenario and nothing is going to happen. I know, SK, elder abuse, you in a whole nother plane, SK. When you get into elder abuse, you on a whole nother level. You're on a whole nother level when you start talking about elder abuse. I just can't. I'm with you, sis. I just can't. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna go back to, with these types of behaviors, and this is our law enforcement, elder abuse on video that they're playing back and getting enjoyment out of. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So at the end of the day, it does beg to ask the question, do we need to move towards abolition? and I said I didn't cue it up. I didn't bring it in today, but I'll show it to you guys tomorrow. This black brother is spitting, and he's spitting good. And we may need to look at abolition, because I think at the end of the day, thank you, Native Norwegian. I appreciate you for following. Native Norwegian, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I want to make sure Norwegian, apologize. I'm so glad to have you in the family. I think we need to have some real legitimate discussion, because if we're talking solely about reform, you are talking about something that's going to take a little bit of time if you're trying to reform something. It was, and I'm going to say it like I said the other week, the foundation was rooted and grounded in this. So at the end of the day, can you build something brand new and fresh that's going to stand when the foundation is rotten? Just ask yourself that question. Can we really expect to build something of strength and something of substance that's going to be sustainable from a foundation that's already rotten? I don't know that we can. I don't think that we can personally. And so, listen, this little young man and all of the abolitionists that are coming out, and I said, go ahead, Frederick Douglass. That's what I called him. I said, go ahead, Frederick Douglass, because it takes some young minds that are thinking something radically. Because sometimes you get individuals that still want to hold on to bits and pieces of the way we were. And this is the thing. I even say, you talk about make America great again. When was it great the first time? For people of color. When was it great the first time for black people? When was it great the first time? Talking about make it great again. So, Mel, no, they would not like it if it was their mother. But I'm going to come back to what I said earlier. When I can disconnect, because it's not my mother. It's not my mother. So I don't feel anything to you because of the color of your skin. I don't feel anything to you because of whatever your block is. So I can do whatever I want to do to you and feel nothing. And let's take it from this perspective, Mel. If you're looking back to the days when they would bring their lunch and sit down with their children, and watch them hang black people from the tree, tar, feather, beat them, set them on fire, cut off body parts with their children. You have to turn around and say, if that was your mother, if that was your father, if that was your sister or brother or whatever family member, you would not be sitting there having a picnic, laughing and talking and having hee and kiki. Some way in your mind, you have dehumanized these individuals in your reality, and you don't see them as human beings anymore, which allows you to feel nothing. Absolutely nothing when you do it to somebody else, because you've dehumanized these individuals. Come on, Rebel. You've dehumanized these. Listen. And then I want to say it was Cruz, whichever one of those ignoramus. Well, look, come on. I'm trying not to call names. Whichever one of those brothers that's real confused the other day said 3/5 of human was not racist. 3/5 of human. Y'all remember they wanted to vote. They couldn't let black folk be black, but they needed more votes. They needed more bodies for the vote. So they said black folks are 3/5 human. And this man with his insane mind got up in national television in 2021 and said 3/5 human is not racist. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. And this is the thing, because America, the United States of America, and those from white supremacy would love to rewrite history about their dastardly deeds. It's just dastardly. They would love to rewrite history and try to make it as if these things never happened. But it did. So when you sit another wreath, another wreath has been heard from, Stacy. Another wreath has been heard from. And for those of you, I have to bring you up to speed for our new watchers on Yes You All Cube, one-on-one, just me and you. I want you to understand, when your family tree is too close, it starts growing together into a wreath. So yes, we've heard another wreath. We've heard from another wreath on today. And on that, I gotta unshade. We don't just throw shade, we shed light. Another wreath has been heard from. Because at the end of the day, who does this kind of stuff? Who says this kind of stuff? And how can you stand and keep a straight face that 3/5 of a human was not racist? That's some crazy stuff, y'all. That's some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So at the end of the day, you know, it to me behooves us to seriously listen to some of these young folks and what they're saying, because listen, some of these folks don't deny their intelligence. These kids are sharp. I mean, listen, I followed him. He was so tough. I said, listen, he's saying some stuff here. I need to educate myself. I followed him because I'm like, this brother ain't playing. And it's always good when you see fresh young minds coming to the table and talking they talk and walking their walk. I love it. There ain't no fight in me. It's like, baby, how can I help you? Help me as I grow and understand what you're saying. Because at the end of the day, I'm not so sure I'm not going to be an abolitionist after I listen to him a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, change must come. Change must come. And I'm listening and I'm looking and I'm watching. And listen, it's happening. And that's the thing. The supremacists, the privileged, they got their fingers just wrapped as tightly as they can, trying to hold on to this last hurrah of racism. But they might as well give it up, because it ain't gonna work. No weapon. It ain't gonna work. It just won't work. It's over. And the transition is happening. So as we move and as we navigate through these waters, I want you to understand, this is all that happened while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. This is what I read when I woke up this morning. Woke up this morning with my mind. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I realized it's happening. If you haven't realized it, let me tell you, it's happening. Now, as we close out here, because I'm coming to the end of the day, it's almost time for me to close it down. I started to go into a heavy topic on today, and then I'm gonna tell you what, something down inside of me, and this podcast today is right in line with what I felt. I started to go into a little bit of a deeper topic, and what I heard down in my shando, y'all know my shando works. What I heard down in my shando was that the word of the day is fun. The word of the day is fun. It was like sometimes you got to just step back, take a break, and breathe and have some fun. And so I thought to myself, and I want to put this out here for you guys as well. I thought about, I've created some organizations and we're doing social justice work. And this isn't new. I didn't just start. I had a situation the other day, and I try not to give my resume and this and that and the other, because it ain't about me. But at the end of the day, don't call me on the carpet, because honey, before I was 29, I had already gone to numerous college campuses to talk about Black history and Black awareness and discrimination fighting. And the cause. But before I was 29, I had gone to the cities and done some NAAC keynote speaking and addressing and training. I had already done Harmony in a World of Difference and worked in my community and in the communities across the state line. I had already worked with the Department of Justice. Don't do me. I had already worked with the Department of Justice and working with the city and the neighborhood police crime unit in racial unrest in neighborhoods and communities. I'd already gone in and done that with the people. unarmed, no vest. Let's sit down at the table and can we talk through it? Can we work through it? And I've already dealt with that when folks are at each other's throats and ready to kill somebody. And I'm thanking the Lord for the police personnel on this side and that side and the Department of Justice man on the other side. I've already done that. This is nothing new. For everybody that wants to call me on the carpet, why didn't we? Listen, I've been doing this for a minute and we're going to keep doing it. But as I've looked at all of that, I'm also looking at the reality. You got to have some fun. And so I started, new agencies are coming up and I've joined on with some more too. I want to give them a shout out. I love what Sister Laura McDonald is doing here locally. Mothers Against the Weapons, Against Guns. I'm glad to make association with all these new organizations that are coming out. Not Afraid to Speak. I'm glad to create and chair that organization that's come out, because I'm going to continue the fight, no quit. But at the end of the day, I started asking myself, and what out there have I joined in groups just to have some fun? Because listen, I plan to have some fun, y'all. And I hope that that's your mindset, because you need balance. You need something that allows you to be able to let your hair down and just kick it. You need something that needs to allow you the opportunity to just go out and enjoy yourself. You need friends. Like I said, it's the crazy folk that keep you sane. You need friends like Jonna CPW. You need friends like King Coogee. You need friends like Shelby Nicole Cosplay. You need friends like Royal Confessions. You need friends like SK8843 and BTDW. You need friends like Mel and Stacy. Everybody in this chat, y'all my friends. You need friends like these folks that come in and chat with me. Bishop Andrews and the ability to have Mr. Integrity himself. You need friends like that. And listen, understand, when we get together, we laugh, we talk, we hee, we kiki. I'm telling you, you need to have that opportunity to be able to have fun. So there's some organizations out there that are about the fun. Don't just sign up and don't just sign on with all the people that's doing the hard, serious work of civil rights and social justice and whatever your thing is. That may not be your thing. You may be about something else. That's the area that I am in. That's my passion. But as you go and as you flow, by all means, don't ever forget to join some organizations and some people and some friends that have fun. It's all about fun, Nathan Lamont. You know, that's my baby right here. It's all about balance. You gotta have some balance in your life. If the weights are too heavy on one side versus the other side, then it just is not a healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually scenario in your life. You've got to have that place of balance. You got to find the ability to bring all of that in. And I contend that some folks are just way too serious all the time. You're just way too serious all the time. Find an organization where you can, that's all they do is have fun. That's all they do is have fun. And kick it and have a ball. Whatever that is, I wanted to just step back today as I'm closing out this podcast and emphasize that word. Now, I'm telling y'all, that laugh that Jonna CPW gave me with Crockpot, that laugh. Now, somebody may have got offended. I may have lost some viewers right there because did folk want me to be serious? They want to know why we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, and they think that, child, you were just out of order. Laughing at crack. Listen, Crackpot was funny. If you were a little too starchy and you couldn't get, baby, the cracks, it was the cracks. If you couldn't get a little chuckle out of Crackpots and Breakfast Sampler and Big Breakfast and biscuits and all of that, and maybe that's not your flow. You can't, that's not funny to you. Okay, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna embrace you anyway. Whatever your humor is, I'm gonna say find it. Baby, my Shondo needed that today. I felt that ding down in my Shondo. You hear me? That tickled me. That was, listen, it was hilarious. Jonna CPW was hilarious. She came out of lurk mode to knock me off my seat. She did. I mean, my whole sinuses, my head, everything is clear right now because of Jonna CPW. She took the hands of healing and laid them on me. Because listen, a merry heart do a good like a medicine. Y'all didn't know that? A merry heart is just like taking medicine. I'm still laughing. She took her hands of healing, baby, and she knocked all of the whatever was up in there. She just loosened it all. It just loosened and juiced and came right on that. It just loosened, and it's still running. Be healed. I receive it. I receive my healing, Jonna. I receive my healing. Crockpot is etched in your spirit. I hear you, SK. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, it's just all down in my shando. And that is what I love about this podcast, because even hearing that in my spirit and in my shando, don't get deep this morning, just have fun. Because listen, we've been beat down. We've been abused. Come on, Nathan, you getting ready to cook? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not even gonna comment on that. We've been all of these things that are so heavy and so hard and so traumatizing. And what did I say earlier? Trauma has the ability to change and rewire our very brain. We need to have something to offset that. And that's why I think a merry heart does good like medicine, because a merry heart, that laughter, that good belly laugh, allows your brain to recalibrate. I think it re-energizes. It sends that energy off of that direction of all the trauma and redirects that energy in a whole nother level. And I tell you what, when you get a good belly laugh and when you're having some good fun, it will readjust your whole body. It'll allow your whole body to feel a totally different way. So at the end of the day, you know, I look at all of this that's going on, and I'm excited to say, stay in the game and no quit. But with everything you do, I see y'all still laughing. With everything that you do, make sure you have some fun. That's my word of the day. Make sure. Enjoyed this podcast on today, because I surely enjoyed you. I've enjoyed every laugh. I've enjoyed every serious moment. I've enjoyed everything that, oh yeah, we can buck and laugh too. We can buck and laugh. Come on. You're from Norway, native Norwegian. I'm so glad to have you. And listen, all the way from Norway. Tell me what time it is where you are, native. Tell me where you are, native Norwegian. Tell me what time is it there? I am closing out. It is 9 o'clock in the a.m. here, and y'all give native Norwegian. Come on, give native Norwegian some love up in here. Y'all give native Norwegian some love. We're so happy to have you in the family. Thank you so much for being here. It's 2 a.m. Oh my goodness, it's 2 a.m. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much for being up with us at this time of the morning where you are in New Zealand. Bless you. Oh my goodness. To all the new followers, that author Javonda, I'm so glad you came through today. Nothing but love for you over here. Nothing but love. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope that you had a good time. To all of you out there in my chat, I appreciate you. And I'm going to close with the joke that I put on, since we having fun. And this is how we going out of here. The joke that I put on Facebook yesterday, and some of y'all were really, really mad at me for this joke. What did the Jam say to Beyonce? What did the Jam say to Beyonce? I don't think you're ready for this jelly. And with that, we are out of here. Well, I feel for my brother. I feel for my sister. And I am so glad that you came to Yes You OQ one-on-one. It's just me and you. And I want to say to all of my Twitch streamers and watchers, I want you to hold tight. because my engineer, I know, wasn't that a good one? Please stay tuned for the raid. We're gonna raid another channel, Twitch. Are we going to Q? We're gonna get in some good mellow mood music this morning. Everybody out there in Twitch that wants to go to the raid with me, just hang on after we close out and you're gonna go on to the raid. Now, this has been your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and again, my thought for the day was fun. Now, I want you to look for me because I'm out there, I'm all over the place. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Facebook, Discord, and more. I'm out there, y'all. Follow me, follow me, follow me. And I'm so glad that you are here with me today. Now, I want to say it like Rhonda Royal says, if you don't deal with it, it will deal with you. So I want you to take care of business. Don't leave nothing hanging out of there. Just deal with everything that you got going on in your world today. Now, don't just talk about change. We want you to be the change. Be the change. And I always close out with this: us, you, me, we, all, because we're all in this together. And we're going to see the change. Racism is going down. It's going down. It's going down. I love you with the love of God. And you know how I always close it out. I always close it out with my wishes, and my desire for you is that you have peace for your journey.